Hello everyone, in this lecture we are going to discuss about one of the application of the transistor. So transistor has two major applications. It can act as a switch and it can act as an amplifier. First we will see how a transistor can act as a switch. So normally a switch has two conditions, on and off. So the standard configuration of which a transistor can be used as a switch is bipolar junction transistor, BJT in CE configuration, common emitter mode configuration. Common emitter mode configuration is that a transistor has three terminals, base, emitter and collector. In that, emitter terminal is grounded, so collector terminal is given supply and base terminal is given as input. So this is a standard common emitter configuration circuit. So how it acts as a switch in off condition and switch is on condition. If you can see here, there are four parameters which control the transistor to act as a switch in both off and on condition. VBE is the base emitter junction voltage across the base emitter junction. IB is the base current when you give supply to the base emitter junction. IC is the collector current. Based on the base current, this collector current will rise because we know this symbol IC equal to expression IC equal to beta IB. So based on the value of IB, IC increases. So beta is the current gain of the transistor. Every transistor has a beta ranging from 20 to 450 or even to 500, the beta value. So now coming on to the switch off condition, transistor in the off condition. So if you can see here, VBE, what is it? Base emitter junction, voltage across the base emitter junction. This voltage, now let's assume this transistor in off condition, and for the transistor to be in off, the voltage base emitter junction will be less than 0.7 voltage. This 0.7 voltage is the cut-in voltage for the base emitter junction to conduct. So if you can recall the working of a PN junction diode, after 0.7 voltage PN junction diode in a forward bias condition, after 0.7 voltage the diode starts to conduct. So a transistor BJT is an NPN transistor. NPN transistor. This is one PN junction diode and this is one PN junction diode. So we are considering this PN junction diode, this PN junction diode, and this should cross the cut-in voltage of 0.7. So VB if less than 0.7, there will be no base current. Base current will be 0. If base current is 0, based on this expression IC equal to beta IB, collector current will also be 0. So if the collector current will be 0, what will happen to VCE? VCE is the voltage across collector emitter junction. Let's see now. VB is less than 0.7. IB is 0. If IB goes to 0, IC also goes to 0, which means there is no flow of collector current in this direction from this point to the ground. Current flow, no current flow will be there. So no current flow. This is an open switch. When we say open switch, it means it is a switch which is at off condition. No current flows. This terminal has been open, so no flow of current. So the voltage across VCE will be plus 5 volt. Voltage across VCE will be plus 5 volt. So this will be the case when transistor is at off condition. So let's move on to the transistor in switch on condition. So let's have that VBE will be greater than 0.7. If VB is greater than 0.7, IB will rise to maximum, and because of that IC will go to the saturation. You have to specially mention that IC goes to the saturation, IC saturation. Instead of maximum, you should say as saturation, IC saturation. So that what will happen? VB greater than 0.7, what will happen at 0.7? This PN junction diode starts to conduct. If this PN junction starts to conduct and if IB reaches a maximum value based on this VB becoming far greater than 0.7, IB becomes maximum, IC goes to saturation value, which means there is maximum or full flow of collector current in this transistor. So this means this is a closed circuit. Maximum saturation collector current flows in this line. So because of this, if you see VCE, since this circuit, this line is closed, these two terminals are closed, if you measure the voltage across the collector and emitter terminal, it will be 0. How it will be 0? It is, in other terms, closing this terminals means short circuiting, plus and minus. So VCE will be 0. So in this way, transistor acts as a switch in off condition and on condition. Thank you.